Here's a fun little story about attention, right? Sometimes we all can get a little grabby for attention, and it's good to constantly check in, and especially when it comes to the yoga practice. Why am I practicing? What am I practicing for? And I think, especially too, in the world of social media, it can get a little shaky, that line of like, are we putting art into the world, or do we put our yoga poses, take pictures of yoga poses and put them out there because we're looking for some sort of outward approval, or that we need to prove something, is that it? Or what's the true reason for why we practice? Good question. And so this is the story about a sage named Bhrigu. And Bhrigu decided that he was going to go pay his respects to Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu. And he goes to find Brahma, and he finds that Brahma is just way too busy doing some rituals with Saraswati. He's not even paying attention to him. And Bhrigu gets a little bit annoyed, and he curses Brahma. He says, okay, fine, you will never be worshipped. Your form will never be worshipped. And so that's why no one worships the form of Brahma. And then he goes to find Shiva, and Shiva, as usual, is completely enraptured with Parvati and caught up in some passion and some lovemaking. And so Bhrigu gets angry again, but he's not quite as angry this time. He says, okay, you'll be worshipped, but not as your form. You'll be worshipped as some other object. And that's why they say that the Shiva worship is always to the lingam, right? The sort of cone-shaped, bell-shaped stone. And then finally he gets to Vishnu, and Vishnu is sleeping. He's sleeping, and Lakshmi is rubbing his feet. And now Bhrigu gets really mad, and he kicks Vishnu right in the chest. And Vishnu wakes up, and he says, oh, my friend, I'm so sorry. Did that hurt your foot? And Vishnu takes Bhrigu's foot, and he starts to hold it so tenderly. And in that moment, when Bhrigu sees Vishnu touching his own foot, holding his foot, he realizes that Bhrigu himself, he was not a yogi after all, but a bhogi, B-H-O-G-I, very different. A yogi is one who is not seeking attention grabbing, someone who is not seeking fulfillment through their senses. And a bhogi, however, is the opposite of that. A bhogi is one who is seeking fulfillment through the senses, constantly needing to gratify their five senses, seeking attention, seeking approval. And so Bhrigu is very happy, and he has now realized that after all, he had been practicing the wrong thing, and he's no longer seeking attention, but practicing for the right reasons. Namaste, yogis, not bogies.